So today, I'm going to share with you Frida Kahlo, Para Niños y Niñas. This book, Frida Kahlo, Para Niños y Niñas, was written by Nadia Fink, who is a journalist from Argentina. Nadia has written not only this book, but the other books in the collection from Bookstall Sur. So it brings a really interesting perspective to it. It's a journalist perspective, and as well as a feminist perspective. The goal of Nadia's writing is to share the complete story of women like Frida Kahlo. And so in this story, you will want to use it for third grade and up, or you will want to just discuss some of the issues in the book. So it really tells Frida's story about her childhood. And if you're not familiar with it already, she had a rough childhood because one, she went to school with nearly all boys. And two, at a very young age, she was in a serious vehicle accident, and that vehicle accident left her ill, for physically ill and really unable to move, and so that's why she discovered painting. And the story of her discovering painting is really the story of her discovering herself, her voice, and what she felt like, how she wanted the world to look and feel. She met Diego Rivera, and it is no secret that her and Diego Rivera had an open relationship, and so the book actually identifies that. It doesn't go in to say that she is bisexual, but it does say that she loved all people, and it does a really beautiful job in that. I've read this before, but it doesn't hurt to read it again. It says, Diego y Frida se casaron y a falta de una, dos veces, sin embargo tuvieron otros amores aún estado juntos. Como otras cosas compartieron ese sentimiento más de lo acostumbrado para la época. Así los amigos y amantes eran muchos, y para Frida el amor se reflejaba en hombres y en mujeres. So it's just one sentence, but it really does do a beautiful job in saying that. For someone who's identifying possibly with that same attraction to both males and females, this is a really powerful book to validate their identity and to not make them feel so isolated as our society often does. For kids that aren't thinking in that direction, most of them don't even pick up on it. And so, and some do. So it's really a great opportunity. If you are using this in a middle school, which I think there's a lot of possibilities for using that, it's a really great book to have that deeper conversation with. Not trying to skim it out, to be surfacey about it. I just want to point out that it's there, and for you, the teacher, and the parent, you want to decide how you want to address that. The art in the book is also recreated, and so some of it is really intense. This one right here is about the border, la frontera entre Mexico y los Estados Unidos. Frida did live in the United States for a while, and she was really torn about it. It was really a struggle for her. The same kind of tension between the United States and Mexico existed then, and she felt it. She felt it deeply. And lastly, La Columna is one of the illustrations that does trouble some teachers and some parents. La Columna is about her spine, and that's really where she had most of her injuries. There are breasts shown here, and so some teachers like to take a Sharpie and marker over that. And I am not one to judge that. I did the same with La Loteria, the mermaids, in my classroom. I just didn't want to have that conversation every time we played Loteria. So you do as you wish. I want to give you the tools to make sure that you can do that. And then in the end of the book, to have a complete story, it goes into Frida's death. And if your students have seen the movie Coco, I thought I was going to forget it. The movie Coco, then they are familiar with the bridge, and this story talks about the bridge. And so it's an example of Frida going over to the other side, so her death. So all books deal with death as well. At the end of this, there's some amazing activities to do with the self-portraits and talking about recreating different art. Just a really, really incredible book to use in the classroom and inside. And you'll see in my video with Anna Dowling, she talks about doing that autoretrato self-portraits with her classroom. So, and she'll give you a resource for it, which will link to it. So This book is not only published in English, but we have a separate book, in Spanish, but we have a separate book that publishes it in English. And so what I'd like to say to you is that the book published in English and Spanish is not intended to be used simultaneously, but it's actually intended for you to support both classrooms. So this book, Frida Kahlo, it's available in both languages. So this is Frida Kahlo. She is our first biography. She's an incredibly well-known Mexican here in the United States, who's also has spent time in the United States. So she's definitely important to us. She's become a popular symbol. Her art and her signature unibrows has become known for us all to embrace our own beauty, no matter how it is. So I hope you today open a book, open yourself to another world, share it with someone else, and thank you for joining me.